I need to laugh. Okay, here we go. I need a song selection or something.
I don't need no dope. I don't need no smoke. I
On
don't
420, really?
need no wine, no cocaine, or any other thing. Cause Jesus Christ is my natural high. He's my natural high. You ain't never heard
Man, that's definitely an apostolic song. We don't sing that.
that?
I ain't never heard, I ain't never heard that song, ma'am. Talking about, oh,
No cocaine, no any other thing. The first time I heard that song, I was dead, still dead till this day.
I yeah, definitely going to open up the podcast with that selection. I have never heard that song before.
It's a great one.
You
It
know
is
what?
a great one.
It's time to get into this because this is ridiculous. All right. Well, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We welcome you once, we welcome you twice, we welcome you three times in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm Danny, and this is my co host, Damo.
We are the host of the I'm Saved But podcast, where we are providing a space for millennials to transition from religion to relationship while being transparent about what their walk with God looks like. We are so excited to be with you all today for our first episode talking about who we are. So, this episode is titled I'm Saved, but let me introduce myself. And
My
so,
name is Cole. And
well, she's excited, clearly. Let's get right into it. Danny, tell the people, who are you? Who are you? It's a loaded question, right? You got it. Let's see. Who are you?
well, first, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life.
Uh-huh.
To Sister Damo here. I bring you greetings from the greater west side of Chicago,
Oh,
also by way of the south suburbs, where I am a teaching artist, a youth director, a youth mentor, and I also work in hospitality.
yes, ma'am. You do it all. You do it all.
I don't do it all, I just do some.
It seemed like a lot. I mean, you always busy, so I'm gonna just say you do it all. A little bit about me, same as Danny. Kind of in the hospitality business, kind of not. I am Damo, born and raised on the west side of Chicago, Humboldt Park area mainly for the majority of my life. I love my Puerto Ricans. Anyways, I am married. Been married a little less than a year. About halfway through our first year of marriage. I teach ninth grade civics and social justice. I've been doing that for the last maybe 6 years, but my passion is the babies. So for a long part of my life, I was an infant teacher. Now I am a co-host of the I'm Saved But podcast,
Yeah.
and I'm excited. I'm excited. All right. Well, we already said where we're from. We're from Chicago. I'm from fully West Side. She's like split West Side, South suburb.
I'm a mutt.
But we are Chicago raised, and we are ready to jump into the next question. Danny, how do we know each other?
We both met at NIU, Northern
Yeah,
Illinois University. For
you.
those of you all who don't know, love them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've been friends for over 10 years now.
We like an old married couple.
We are. We are. I mean, 10 plus years in the game, it should feel like we combined at the hip, you know?
I
It
mean,
should
you spent
definitely feel
half
like
of those
that.
10 years not talking to me, but that's fine.
half of them, maybe the first like four. We talked when we needed to. We talked when we needed to. Y'all will learn that I have an issue with my phone. That'll come up, I'm sure. But
She don't
sometimes,
answer.
sometimes answering my phone is just too much work. So,
I respect that.
but I'll call you back. I'll call you back. All right. Danny, how did the podcast start? Tell the people who we are, how we started.
So yeah, so of course we've been friends for over 10 years, and with 10 years of friendship comes lots of questions,
For sure.
especially with me. Lots of questions. And 2020, we try not to remember it. Uh, but we were stuck in quarantine, and of course, me being the queen of reflection that I am, had lots of questions. And guess what? Out of all my friends, Dama was the only person to entertain them. And you know, I don't know what to say after that. But anyway, so after
Thank you. So it pretty much seems like our friendship, well, not seems like, but it really is. It's like our friendship is based on like Danny, like we said in previous videos, go back and watch them if you haven't. She is full of questions, so inquisitive, so just like and open about it. And so being Danny's friend, you have to be like a a partaker in the questioning, but also a listener because she'll have you thinking about yourself in ways that you've never thought about yourself before of just like, why do you do this? Why do you say things like that? Or, just how would you respond in this situation? And so that's kind of where the podcast came from. 2020 brought a lot of downtime to just talk and reflect and think and have all kinds of conversations. And we thought that we needed a space to share those conversations with you all. It wasn't just 2020 because, like we said, we've been friends for 10 years. And so it slowly started to progress. But now it's at a place where it's just like full blown. Well, she can ask one question and we talking for like 2 hours every single time we're on the phone.
and
So,
Dominique
y'all
is
keep
very wise. Dominique is very wise. Dominique has a lot of experience.
Wait a minute. That kind of sound like I haven't done a lot, y'all. I haven't done a lot. I have
Yeah.
experience in certain areas.
So okay, so this is how this look. Okay, this is the tea. Okay, this is what it is. What it
Okay.
is that we are the same but different.
Uh huh.
And when it comes to a lot of life experiences, I am very unexperienced.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
And that's okay, but it also makes me very inquisitive.
True.
Dominique has more experience than I do. And so I ask her questions because she is wise.
Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's
But
where we balance each other out.
we do. We really do. We really do. Because, like I've said before, Danny is real saved. Um,
And you
and
real worldly.
just her
You real
life has
worldly.
first of all, I am in the world, but not of the world. So do me in the world, but not of the world. But I like to entertain the thoughts. Like I love to just, I would love to be at a place where I can start asking those questions on my own. But that's Danny. She gives it to me, make me think. And I'm an open, honest book, which y'all will find out. Try to, be a little conscious about what I share so my husband don't kill me. But I'm gonna be open and honest about who I am, what I've experienced. Because that's what this space is for. Like we want this space to feel like just a conversation with your best friend on the phone. Like it doesn't have to be anything formal. We just want to be real.
We just wanna be real. So anyway, the conversation started getting real. Like Dominique said, we talk all the time, and well, now we talk all the time. Um, now we do. Now we talk all the time.
Okay, they get it. I don't answer the phone. Okay. We got
But
it.
our conversations, like you said, our conversations are always very interesting. And we just wanted to bring them to you. Because our
Absolutely.
whole thing is that we can't be the only ones that have these questions. And a lot of our conversations centered around Christians in our relationship to sex and sexuality and just our relationship to the world and how we as Christians, I don't want to say market ourselves, but how we present Christ to
Yes.
everybody else and also how we present Christ to each other because even being a Christian, sometimes we are put in a situation where we also have to be a light to other believers.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so
And
that's that.
even when we're struggling, like
Even when we're
that's kind
struggling.
of a reality of being a Christian is just like we are trying so hard to, build ourselves up and, work on and fix the things that are in us that we're struggling with on a regular basis while maintaining this, light for everyone else. And many of our conversations, like Danny said, have like stemmed from personal situations that we're going through while we are working. Like I teach. And so a lot of times bringing up current events or just, opening up about my experience as an African American, because I teach a social justice class. And so, like, while we're dealing with everything going on around us with the work, oftentimes our conversations are like, but this is what I really need to work on, or, this is where I really need to focus and I can't because I have so many other things. So our conversations became that space for us to think through all of those inward or just like unsure places, and how we can be more of a light to other people. I can honestly say, like, 100% benefited from every conversation me and Danny has had. Walked away with a lot of times walked away inspired, other times walked away confused, a lot of times walked away with like 50 more questions. But they were all productive and needed. Like the timing is just always right too. So I'm excited to share just our thoughts and how we feel
Not
about this job.
not confused though.
Yeah, sometimes
Like not confused.
I was
Anyway,
confused.
not you was confused. We probably was both confused.
Very much
Woo!
so.
But anyway, our conversations now challenge a lot of our ideals that we like kind of grew up with because we both grew up in church, and
Yeah.
so with growing up in church, there's a lot of things that we are indoctrinated with that as we got older, we was just like, how does this work?
Right.
How do we do this? How do I be a representative for Jesus to somebody else that's already supposed to have him
Absolutely.
or to somebody that don't want to have him? Um
Yeah.
and so it just really brought a lot of questions that force us to really start to look at our own journey and to really see how to use the tools in which we were given as kids. Because, like, to be honest, growing up, I thought that all I had to do was just say the little prayer and, and that was it. It's just like, you go up to, you go up to the chair. They open up the door of the
Right,
church.
they open the doors because they have to
Okay,
be opened
you
first.
have to open the doors. I didn't know that the doors was closed.
I
They
can't
never
even.
closed them. They just opened them. So
Uh-huh.
they open up the doors of the church. You gotta walk down that aisle, go sit in that there chair, or stand up there in the front. Get a pass in your hand, but give God your heart.
Yeah. And it was like that was I feel like, I don't know, I'm gonna speak personally, but I feel like for me, like when you get saved, right? They tell you like by you confessing it, saying you believe it in your heart, right? That makes you saved. But no one ever says, and that's kind of what Daddy was saying. No one ever tells us the process.
No one.
Like you're like, okay, yes, I'm saved now. Great. What do I do with that? Or okay, yes, I know how to pray. I know how to talk to God. What am I talking to God about? Or like, it's just like so many situations where we've been trained, with the church to think and to pray a certain way and to ask God for certain things, or even how to structure a prayer. I feel like something I was taught. And it's like, yes, that's great for the foundation, but what happens when, like me and Danny, we got to college and the world was like, oh, I'm here, let's see
Honey.
what those, what those scriptures you memorized on Easter
Oh,
Sunday do. Let's see what those, no one ever gave us how we develop and how we grow in that. And so that's where these conversations have kind of pushed us to realize how to build a stronger relationship with God. And so while we're using this space to help you all feel transparent and to talk about what your relationship with God is, that's what we're still working on, right? It's still a process. We're still growing in it, but a lot of our conversations have pushed us to a place where it's not I'm just reflective about what I'm going through in my mind, but how it influences other people, how this connects to me spiritually, how it can elevate me in any way. And talking about also those things that hinder us and just having a reality and grasp on those, because Danny will definitely check me when I'm, in my moments where, as she actually said a couple days ago, I'm trying to hide in her shadow, but we ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there. But it causes you as friends to come closer. It causes you having these deep conversations and just answering these questions provided a space for us to become closer, for us to be able to correct each other, and for our relationship with God to grow. Yes, I just put you out there. You will live. Move on. Carry on.
anyway, don't have them thinking like you don't be coming for me. Okay? Because she does. She does. She come for me all the time. All right. She correct but I think that's the whole thing about like even learning how to have Christian friendships. You
Mhm.
know, like what does that look like? How do I correct you in love?
Right.
You know, how do I interact with you?
Yeah.
Outside of, just being nice. What should I expect from you? What should you expect from me, being a friend? What does that look like?
Yeah. And that's exactly the same way that God wants us to build our relationship. Like that was just so like that just I wasn't thinking that at first, but it just hit me out of nowhere of like that's literally what it means to have a relationship with God. Coming to him with your questions, with your problems, with everything you're going through, being real. Like, I'm struggling today. Like today hasn't been an easy day. And then on your good days, like, God, I got it together. How can you, push me more? Like, but that's all a relationship with God is, just like this, like, worldly kind of physical relationship that me and Danny have, and how we're growing and getting to know each other better. That's exactly how you start to develop that relationship with God. It doesn't have to be this formal, I'm laying at the altar to talk to God, right? Like I had to learn for sure to get it to a place where
Yeah.
like I could literally be washing dishes and something comes to my mind that I'm dealing with or battling with. It's like, just talk to him right then and there,
Cause it's
right?
not that deep.
Because it's not that deep. Like he's like, I'm here. He already told you, I'm here. I got you. You just gotta come.
Just
It's
make
not that
space.
serious.
And I think like one of like even dealing with like talking about our own relationship and just like from my standpoint, like in my video I talked about having the strong black woman syndrome. And even with that, a lot of times it makes it hard to have friends because it's not easy for you to let your guard down and to depend on other people. Um and also depend on God. But what I had to learn was that I was having a conversation with one of my sisters or somebody, and I was just like, I wish I had friends like this, and that. And she was just like, have you given them the opportunity to show up? Have you made space for them to show up? And a lot of times I'm even faced with that question with God. Have I made space for God to show up? Or have I become so dependent on myself and my own ability that I don't have any room for Him? I haven't made any room for Him in my life. And so it's not necessarily that God is not talking, but a lot of times, and I'm speaking from experience because nothing that we say on this podcast is something like we not just gonna preach at you or talk about stuff that we're not personally going through ourselves. I
Absolutely.
personally have had to really reevaluate my own life and just be like, sis, ain't no room here for the Lord.
Mm, because that's the reality. We
It's
give,
reality.
I feel like we give so much to our jobs, our families, our, whatever other responsibilities we have when jobs will replace you in a second.
Hello.
Family, sad to say, family will disown you. Family will, get jealous, and kind of push you to the side in the second. And that's like, with that being the reality, like, why wouldn't you provide the time that you give into both of those areas that could replace you to, God, where he said he ain't gonna leave you, right?
Right.
Like, just providing that space. And I think we like I said, from how we were raised, oftentimes if you grew up in the church, you have this image of what providing that space looks like. But like, when you have a, like, just like me and Danny are friends, she can call me at any time of day, we will have a 2-hour conversation. Like, that's how accessible God is to us, but we just have to be there.
Yeah. Just
We
gotta
just
be.
got to go to him. That's it.
And you don't have to be formal about it.
No, just be
Father
you. Just
God,
be you.
in the mighty name of Jesus, we come to you with bowed head and bended knee. Saying, Father, I thank you. Like you don't have to do that.
Don't have to be all of that.
I mean, you
It
can,
don't. It don't.
but
I'm gonna be honest with y'all because I told y'all earlier that, cursing is a I'm saved, but a struggle area, right? So I don't know. I've had moments where I'm talking to God and a word or two will just slip out, and I just have
listen,
to be
and it
like,
just be like that sometimes. Like, ooh, sorry,
"Oh
Lord.
Lord, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
I
Lord.
didn't mean it. I didn't mean it." But when I'm like I said, when I want to come to Danny and something I'm passionate about, something I'm really looking for a change or an answer to, like, just talk to him. Just talk to him. And that's one of the biggest parts. And I think, honestly, now that I think about it, one of the big focus points for this podcast of just like, talk, like, say it, say what the issue is. Like, this I'm saved, but concept is literally like, you're saved, but you're struggling. You're saved, but the world is real. You're saved, but you are human. Like, and there's so many things that go in between all of those topics. And this podcast, and our hope, I guess, for it really is to just say that it's okay to talk about those things. It's okay to be honest with yourself. Like, who are you hiding it from? Like, now you don't have to create a podcast and like share yourself like we are, but why are you hiding it from God? Right? He know it already, but a lot of things can be open for you if you actually bring it to him, right? Because he knows what you're going through before you even bring it to God, right? But bringing it to God, like you taking that initiative to say, okay, I'm real serious about it, God. Now I want to talk to you, is like such a game changer. That it's something so simple that for a long time I didn't even know. And I'm sitting here like, why am I still struggling with all this? Why am I still going through all of this when all I gotta do is tell them?
All you gotta do. All you
All
gotta
you
do.
gotta do is tell them.
All you
And
gotta
so
do.
there's so many topics that are going to come up for us as you continue, and I hope you continue to follow us. But like we said, we have conversations about sex and sexuality. We've had conversations about what's one of our topics? An entanglement. We're in an entanglement. Um our next episode thinking about like we didn't sign up for this. Being saved is there's a whole contract and we did not read the fine print.
But I don't know if it's just that we didn't read the fine print or if we did not have a full understanding of
Yes.
what it meant. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, because I thought about that, because we said that before. And I've said it before. And like when we just said that, it just kind of hit me just like, is it that we didn't read the small print? Or
Or it
is
wasn't
it
given
that
to us.
we like, because he clearly say that, we got to pick up a cross and follow him. But, we never think about the fact that a cross is heavy. And
Yes.
like
Yes.
it's not, I feel like we have overly romanticized
Mhm.
what it means to be a Christian. And like you were saying, like the whole concept of I'm saved, but is basically because a lot of people believe that your relationship with God ends at salvation, but it doesn't.
That's
Like
literally the start.
it's
That's
the
the start.
start. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna be talking about it. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
Yeah. So that
Oh,
yeah.
if if there's something that you want us to talk about, put it down in the comments. Let us know.
Let us know.
Let
Like
us
we
know
said,
what's up.
we are here to talk about anything. We are here to talk about anything. Anything as a Christian, things that we're dealing with. So definitely leave us some thoughts in the chat, in the comments. Reach out to us on Facebook. You can reach out to us anywhere our podcast is available, right? Um, I feel really good about where this is starting and where this is going. Like we said, come back next week. Episode 2 is called I'm Safe, but I didn't sign up for this. Right. And that I feel like is gonna be just a very kind of extension of this one and just talking about no, you can't, there's no way to be prepared unless people start talking about it, unless people are open. And so I'm definitely looking forward to it. So make sure you come back. Make sure that you are here to continue this journey with us on the I'm Saved But podcast.
Yes, yes, yes. So to ensure you that you don't miss it, join us next Tuesday and every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube and on any platform that podcasts are available.
Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram at I'm Saved But, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel for all content updates and information. We are also on some other platforms that we will share. Definitely check out the links, check out the comments. When you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, you'll get the updates there too. We are so excited to go on this journey with you all. And remember, I love you
I love you more.
and we love you 3000. Bye.
Bye.